All right, everybody, we're going to get right to it. We've got snow chances increasing for Monday, Tuesday time frame. We're going to get into the latest snowfall total potential, and GFS this morning coming out with about 3 inches and kind of doubling down on what it's been doing the last few times. So let's go ahead and get in here and show you the other data here. This is going to be Monday. Actually, this is Sunday night, around 9 o'clock, and you can see the area of snow out here to the west in blue, and that's going to be across parts of Texas, northern Arkansas. As we trend to the east, notice a large area of light to moderate snow moving over northern Mississippi through Memphis, and this is going to be probably around 3 o'clock in the morning, Monday. We continue, and the models continue to kind of show one little wave and then a break, and then we'll see another round coming in as we get into the evening hours, late afternoon, early evening hours on Monday. So this is going to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so not as many people at work and not as many students at school. I don't think any of the school systems go to school Monday, but Tuesday could be another issue. So this is roughly 6 o'clock Tuesday evening. And notice this next wave comes in. It's kind of got a bullseye down there in Coleman County, Morgan County, into Marshall County with some heavier snow. This will be midnight. And then notice the snow continuing over into North Georgia and then into the Smoky Mountains up northeast of Chattanooga very early Tuesday morning. And we still have a large area of at least some light snow and flurries Tuesday morning with very cold air coming in. We'll talk about that cold air in a second. It's also going to be very windy as you see those black lines really close together. Those are called isobars. So again, whenever they're really close together like that, and we really watch that potential. So we'll talk about the cold air in just a second, but as we go beyond that into Wednesday, it just stays cold. And that's going to be the other problem here, is it's going to be very cold for a prolonged period of time. So here's going to be the snowfall output potential here. And what you're looking at is the model saying this is where we're probably going to see the snow. So again, I've got this in a little bit closer. So this is 6 o'clock in the morning Monday. We start to see accumulation and the roads are going to freeze. So I think if we get this inch, even an inch of snow is going to snarl things down. So this shows up to 3 inches here in the shoals by 9 o'clock Monday night. So I think we're going to see this light snow perhaps throughout the day, and then it may pick up again late afternoon. Tupelo about 2.7 as well. Huntsville around 2 inches. And maybe an inch or a dusting here in northern Jackson County on down to the south and east. As we continue on here, notice how the snow starts picking up with that second wave coming in. This is 9 o'clock in the morning Tuesday. And the model's still showing it's snowing, more snow. So it's looking like we're going to see more snow overnight, Monday night and Tuesday. And this indicating, again, this is model guidance, but it's trending in this direction. And I've been here long enough to know these kinds of setups give us problems. And it's typically a problem when it comes to travel, big travel impact. So we're talking 3.5 inches of snow in Florence, close to that in Huntsville. And then we got a 4-inch area down here in that area that was showing up, that kind of flared up in Morgan County. And the other thing we're going to have to watch is the potential for river-enhanced snowfall too, with those temperatures being so cold. So here's this 4-inch area down here into Colbert County, and then you get 6 inches over here to 6 to 7 in southeast of Pine Bluff in Arkansas. So pretty good confidence here that there's a significant threat for winter weather here. Now let's talk temperatures. Let me take that full screen actually, and we'll go back through that. So, and I may expand this up into Tennessee too to show you guys up there. So this is 6 o'clock in the morning Monday, and this is accumulating snow according to the GFS model that's just completed this morning, and it's showing some fairly significant snowfall, at least for us. 2 inches is significant down here. So if this were to verify and continue, we would likely see at least a winter storm watch coming up over the weekend from Monday, and probably a winter storm warning for that time frame. Let's go up into Tennessee real quick and do the same thing here, and then we'll talk temperatures. So if you're going to be traveling, and I've had some people that are traveling here up into Indiana, they're going to see snow overnight, Friday night into Saturday, and then here comes the next round. So this shows kind of a bullseye, even up to the north into middle Tennessee, of these 3 to even 2 to 4 inches, we'll call it, and even higher. So Columbia 4, Cookeville 4, almost 5 inches. And look at the Smoky Mountains here, north of Knoxville. We're starting to see, actually this isn't even part of the peak of the Smoky Mountains. So 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches here into southeastern Kentucky with this particular model run of the GFS. And that's going into Tuesday morning. So some of that really picks up after midnight, Monday night into Tuesday. So we're almost in the sweet spot here, but we're still kind of on the edge, so we have to watch that. Now let's talk about these temperatures coming in. I'm going to start off with Tennessee first because the colder air is going to show up there a little sooner. So let's see here. 10 mil. That's 24-hour max. I don't really want that. There's the temperature. So some of you are probably out enjoying today's weather. You're going to be watching this later. Again, don't forget to subscribe here so you can get those notifications. But as we get into, this is going to be Sunday after midnight into Monday morning. Up here east of St. Louis, it's 1 degree, 21 in Nashville, Clarksville 14. And this is why I'm concerned that this is quickly going to start to accumulate on the roads. Sunday, 3 o'clock. Oh, man. So here's 6 o'clock Monday morning. Go back there. We're talking low 20s. Anytime it's snowing and you get past, say, 25 degrees, that's when you really start to see accumulation. So 9 a.m., staying in the 20s in Florence. Over in Jackson, Tennessee, it's 19 and 21. So this will be overnight into Tuesday morning. 6 a.m. Tuesday, it is 14 in Florence and 12 in Columbia, Tennessee. And it doesn't get a lot. This is the noon hour Tuesday. Still 15 in Florence. This is going to hurt, folks. 7 in Columbia. This is 6 o'clock Tuesday. 4 in Jackson, Mississippi. Holy cow. Got 2 below 0 in Columbia. That's probably a little bit of an anomaly. Again, some of this is going to reflect the snowpack. If there's a snowpack, it's going to make it even colder, so that'll reinforce the cold air. 0 in Jack, 3 degrees here at midnight into Wednesday morning. This is just, see where these negative numbers are? That's where we get the snowpack. We're going to have a lot of problems. If this verifies, there are going to be a lot of problems with pipes bursting. And make sure your livestock's prepared. Make sure your pets are prepared. Your pets are definitely going to need to be inside. And again, I mentioned earlier, now practice safety when it comes to space heaters, because some of you are going to try. You're going to get to this panic stage. Some people, not you maybe, they're going to get to this panic stage where they're going to try to keep their pipes warm. They're going to bring something that shouldn't be inside, and they're going to have carbon monoxide issues. Generators don't belong inside. So again, this is potentially going to be very, very dangerous here in the Tennessee Valley with just the cold air alone. So I know the spirit right now is how great it is to have snow, but man, if we get these temperatures in the single digits, it's going to be disastrous for some people. This is a look ahead. This is Friday again. I have a separate post here on the threat for severe weather today and tomorrow, and I'm focusing primarily on the winter aspect of this storm system here. So here's a look at midnight Sunday into Monday. So again, the roads are going to be frozen before the snow even gets here, and I think it's going to be all snow. Maybe a little sleet in some areas. but this is just a classic setup for snow. This is noon hour on Sunday, so let's get into the cold here. This is 3 o'clock in the morning Monday. Notice Monday, some areas do not get above freezing at all. And that coldest of air has a little bit of a rough time crossing up here into the Appalachians. So again, there's going to be this cold air mass coming down, and the terrain has a lot to do with it. You would think the higher elevation would be more likely, but in fact, there's going to be a little bit of an inversion here, but it's still cold enough all the way through the atmosphere in Huntsville and areas west for all snow. So as we continue on here, this is going to be 9 o'clock Monday night. Cold air continues, and if we have the snowpack, that's where I think the model is picking up on making it colder with this run because it has snow on the ground. So let's take that full here. And this, again, stretches all the way back into Arkansas, and let's see how far south this cold air mass goes. This is the noon hour Tuesday. It is still 18 in Huntsville. This is going to be incredible if this actually happens. This is not good at all. 18 Huntsville, Florence 17, Gadsden 21, Montgomery 32 at noon Tuesday. And a lot of this has to do if we have a snowpack, especially when we start looking at these numbers here. 3, 4, 2. This is bad. And it's even colder in areas back towards Memphis. And here's 10 degrees, 9 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday. Wednesday's highs won't even get out of the 20s. So now this is just not good at all. So we're going to have a lot of problems here. I'm telling you now, if this verifies, this is going to be extremely dangerous out there. So not good at all. Let me check, see what questions you guys got. I've got 39 viewers on here. YouTube just doesn't like me, I don't think. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like me. That first video I had like 360 views. But anyway, you can help my cause. You can spread the word. YouTube, you can find me here. Again, I put more information on here. And then I post it on Facebook. But Facebook doesn't like YouTube. So, again, that's just kind of the way it works. But that's the last update I'm going to do on this from home. I will have the latest forecast coming up. You didn't get the notification. Yeah, see, YouTube hates me. Will the county areas get too much cold? Yeah, the county areas typically will get colder, but when this type of air mass, it's just going to be brutal about everywhere. If this verifies, again, it's model data, but it's trending in the wrong direction, so to speak. It's trending much, much colder. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to end it. I've got some electrical work to do at the house. I got an outlet that's not working. I got to figure out why, and I'm hoping the GFI outlet is the culprit here because I'm not getting any juice to my other outlet. I'm glad I noticed it though. Jameson, I don't see a lot of freezing rain here. One thing we can do is let me show you one thing real quick on the other computer. Make sure I got the 12Z Thursday run. Now, you can see that pink area down to the south, but when I click on the sounding data here, what you look for is this, see this 25 here? It's this blue line here. I don't know how well you can see that on there, but this is all below freezing. So when this rain falls, it is below freezing the whole way. The only thing I can think of is there may be a little bit of sleet mixed in. And as far as the other thing we look at is what's called precipitable water. And it's over a ½ inch, which is more than enough. So we'll go forward here on the model. Again, this is all frozen. It's all below freezing. Ground temperature 22, dew point of 20. That's a pretty good, decent dew point spread. One thing we've been really thrown off on in the past is sometimes, and see precipitable water down here, PW, it's still over a ½ inch. One thing we've been thrown off in the past is sometimes you get this really, really dry air, And eventually it's going to be really, really dry. But in this case here, it's not totally dry yet. So the dew point depression, we call it, is perfect for snow. One other thing I did want to briefly talk about. I just want to come back in here real quick. Yeah, let me flip this over here. We'll talk about the wind chill. And if the wind chill gets too bad, we won't have school Tuesday. There's already no school in most areas just due to, let's see, heat index wind chill. Here we go. So we're talking a wind chill. This is Saturday morning. Wind chill is going to be in the teens. And then, see, all day it's going to feel like the 30s. I want to fast forward here to Monday. This is Monday morning. Wind chill, 18 in Florence, 18 in Huntsville. And it gets a little bit better as the wind dies down a little bit. By 9 a.m. Monday, we've got snow still falling, most likely. And then the real wind chill comes in. We've got a wind chill of 2 below zero at 9 a.m. Tuesday. So, again, if they do put out, we may see like a wind chill watch and a wind chill warning. This is 6 o'clock Tuesday evening. Wind chill 5 below in Florence, Huntsville, 1 below. And it gets worse. By 9 o'clock Tuesday night, we've got a wind chill of -6, -5. And Tupelo still -5. And you go down to Montgomery, 10. Monroeville, 8. And these people aren't ready for that down south, that far south. We're not ready for this either. -7 Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. Wednesday. The wind chill is still below zero. And one of the things that you really got to, all day, 10. Oh, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to head out of town. This is not going to be fun. Yeah, this is not fun. So make sure, again, you're stocked up, you're ready for this, because this is looking more and more like last December, except worse. Last December, we got down to 4. We had a lot of problems. We're going to have potentially water mains break by the end of this, because what happens is the ground starts getting really, really cold, and then you get this frost in the ground, and then it shifts. We can get frost quakes. It's been a while since I've said the word frost quake, but I would not be surprised if we started getting some of those reports. It's like an earthquake. However, the ground is just shifting because it's so cold, and sometimes it can happen when it's getting cold, and then it can happen when it's warming up. So if you start to hear rumbles as we get into the middle of next week, it may be frostquake. Let me check this here. Unsub. Oh, okay. When your account and showed that I had. Oh, okay. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of YouTube lately. I've been busy. I'm getting ready to build a garage and do a whole YouTube studio instead of my office here. But this is going to have to work until then. And of course, when in a drought, there's really not a lot of updates you can do on YouTube. That's weird. What time will again, we're just looking at model data here. I would say the roads are going to go downhill like that. I mean, if add snow to a frozen road, if it's in the mid-20s, I've seen this situation in the past where everybody goes to work and they get stuck at work. And I know you guys remember all those times. So, and this reminds me of, I was driving through Tulsa just 2 days ago. They didn't get a lot of snow. And I was looking at some of the weather reports. They weren't expecting a lot of problems, but all the bridges and overpasses were iced over. People were driving 60 miles an hour, and people were spinning out. About every quarter mile, there was a wreck. And you would think some of these people would have looked at all the emergency vehicles and all the wrecks and said, I should slow down. But they weren't. And I was just like, that just doesn't make any sense. So I don't want to hear anybody talk about how bad Alabama drivers are in the snow, because I definitely saw the problem in Tulsa just the other day, and I almost wiped out too. When you go over overpasses and they're iced over, both hands on the wheel, don't change lanes, don't accelerate, definitely don't use the cruise control. You got to watch those exit ramps. The thing about the Monday, Tuesday time frame, this can be pre-treated. So I do expect that to happen, at least where we can, but because it's not going to be rain changing to snow in most locations the way it looks now. Again, this is model guidance, but I see a perfect example of being able to pre-treat the roads, but you get to a certain temperature and you can't pre-treat anyway because it just gets too darn cold. So, yeah, frostquake. We had those several years ago. The frost, you can Google frostquake, and it's pretty cool because you'll hear this rumble and you're like, oh, what's going on? And sometimes you have that little frostquake, that little shift, and that's what can cause water mains to break. So, and then there's always somebody that's got their irrigation system still on. So you get this patch of ice in the middle of nowhere. Maybe we're going to see, and again, if we get some water mains burst, there's going to be problems on roads from that. And just groundwater seepage through the cracks. That happens a lot on Chapman Mountain. Any of these cracks, I've got some cracks in the asphalt in my subdivision, and there's always just water coming up, these underground streams. So keep that in mind too. We got a lot of rain coming again tomorrow, and then we've had a lot of rain. I know we went from a drought to deluge, right? A sleeper ice storm. Someone said the Canadian. Well, let's see what the Canadian says. I got more of you on here, so I might as well keep with you here for a second. I think I'm on 4 there. So let's do the Canadian model. So we go up here. I think that's a CFS model. And this just came. Let's regionalize this. Oh, it's not available for this model. All right, I guess we'll have to stick with the large view here. This is Sunday, and here is, I don't know if I buy this one very much. We usually don't use the Canadian very much. This has got Wednesday. Yeah, I don't think I'm not going to give too much credit to that. One thing I do want to check here, though, this is the National Weather Service blended model. So we can look at the cold air. It's definitely going to get cold. Let's see if I can do a regional look here. And winter weather, total snowfall. This is something new that it's basically blends a lot of the model guidance together. And there's the snow up there with the tomorrow's storm system. And even the blended model, see that? Even the blended model has snow for us. That is, again, that's into 18Z. So noon Tuesday. So as you back this up, here's Monday noon. So even the blended models have a significant stripe of snow from Arkansas through Middle Tennessee and all the way up into the West Virginia area. So the confidence is increasing that we're going to see a winter weather event. So I will leave you guys with that. Well, it's interesting how around 10:22 my numbers started jumping here. So again, I appreciate you guys for jumping on, tuning in. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to change my bingo card to put Frostquake on there. Oh, the GDPS. Gotcha. How long is the cold air going to last? Too long. It's not looking good. Just using the blend of the models. Man, this is a good time to go on a cruise. Man, this is just not fun. I'm sure you'll hear the word polar vortex. I'll have to add that to the bingo card. This right here is next Saturday. Still around 20 degrees in the morning. In case you didn't know, I don't like cold air at all. This is next Sunday. So this is going to be a really prolonged outbreak of Arctic air. I'm glad I got my gas log fireplace fixed. I would be making really, really big plans on how you're going to tackle this, how you're going to deal with if there's a power outage just due to the cold. Because I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Huntsville Utilities says they're TVA. They say they're ready. This is going to be a huge test for TVA because it covers a huge grid of their customers. So if you've got propane, if you're on propane, I'd make sure you're topped off. Those guys are going to be busy with filling propane. Yeah, so again, I've got natural gas at the house. I'm thankful for that. So if the power goes out here, the wife and I'll just huddle in the living room. But again, make sure you got carbon monoxide detector. If you're going to run a space heater, I don't think I have it right here. But again, if you're using a space heater, plug it in to the outlet, not in one of those trees, not in one of those things that you connect all these other devices in, because it's going to draw a lot more power, and that's where your fire source is going to start there. If it's a kerosene heater, make sure you're vented somehow. Never bring a generator into your house. So these are the kind of things that you don't think about until it actually happens. So I'm just here to prepare you. And if it doesn't happen, I'm really happy about that because I don't think anybody wants this kind of weather to come in. So it's going to be brutal. Make sure. Yeah. All right. I am officially going to check out now, and I'll have another update again tomorrow morning. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Again, subscribe, like, and make sure you're still subscribed because it sounds like YouTube may have been kicking some of you off. See you guys later. Appreciate it.